Thank you, Jim. Jason in Florida, then Robert in Kentucky, and we're going to shut this thing down. Go ahead, Jason.
Hey, Alex. I'm a member of the unorganized militia.
Welcome.
How you doing? Just like your previous caller said, I don't see as much of a choice. I mean, everyone just signed the Federalist Papers between able-bodied between 18 and 45 is a member of the unorganized militia, and that philosophically, that's because you cannot delegate your safety and security to somebody else. Can't be done.
Well said. Anytime you delegate your authority, that'd be like if you had a business and you left it to somebody for 20 years. You'd come back, the locks would be changed, and they'd say, get out of here, this is my business. And that's what government has said. And people are tired of being pushed around and abused by it, and it's over. It's over. Let me give the establishment the message. It's over. That's why they put Obama in, because we were criticizing Bush. He's just a puppet, so they can invoke the race card and try to make it racial. And, if you say the government's socialist or too big, that's code for the N-word. They're injecting race. They want to get everybody at each other's throats. But let me tell you, it's not working, folks. It's not working. People are coming together, black, white, old, young, it doesn't matter. And it's just beautiful and wonderful to see, and I'm just so honored to be involved in it.
And thank you, Carol, for doing your own independent research into the militia. I think you might be surprised if you had any preconceived notions coming in about who might comprise the militia.
Well, I did have preconceived notions because of what I saw in the 90s. And when I saw that there was a resurgence, I decided to take a look at it. Are you finding more and more people interested in what you're doing? Do you think there are more and more people doing this?
Oh, yes. Over the last couple of years, there's a lot more people. And they're ordinary people. They're tradespeople. They're just like the Sons of Liberty were. It's just the same thing.
How do you think the media has portrayed you, or whoever, the media or the government or whomever, how do you think you've been portrayed in the past? And is it wrong, and why?
Well, I don't take it personally. I mean, I think that's just a stigma that they perpetuate for a political reason.
It's just black ops. It's just military. I mean, they lie and say there's no bills to have national compulsory service when the bills are introduced and Obama's giving speeches for it. They want to make all this racial too, so they can play groups off against each other and make it a racial issue when it's not. See, but that's not going to work. I mean, the more asinine the government and the media get, the more. I mean, the media keeps wondering why they're losing ratings, losing viewers, and why nobody believes anything they say now. And it's because everybody knows that the majority of what comes out of the mainstream media is a crock of baloney. It's over. I mean, I don't think the establishment realizes this is the beginning of the end. They're going to be able to kill a bunch of us and do a lot of horrible stuff and stage terror attacks on the military and say we did it, and we've already caught them doing drills for it. It isn't going to work. It's over. This is a war they're going to lose. The people, the spirit of liberty has been ignited. The spirit of 1776 has risen, and it's over. It's over. The New World Order is defeated.
So do you think we're going to see Americans fighting Americans? Is that what's going to happen? You're going to
see the feds try to march the military and police up against the American people. And you're going to see amazing things happen. Unless we're able to just get the word out and the establishment does the calculations and decides to back off. The smartest thing for the New World Order to do is to back off. And the worldly side of me would like things to not become tumultuous and would like things to stay smooth. But sometimes stagnation leads to total destruction. And so if I was the New World Order, I would back off and not escalate this. But they can't help their nature up in their ivory towers. And their macho minions want to march off against the Republic. And I'm just telling you, they were destined from the foundations of this country for this second revolution to happen, and they will fail. Just like they failed with the Shays Rebellion, just like they failed every other time, just like they failed with Andrew Jackson. We're praying for peace, preparing for war.
So, Jason, do you go out and train then?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Well, who's the target? When you do that, who's the imagined target?
The attacker. Go ahead.
I don't have a target. No,
who in your mind are you training, preparing for?
Domestic or foreign enemies of the Constitution.
So, in other words, domestic, then you're talking the federal government?
No. Anyone who is...
Any domestic or foreign...
Any domestic or foreign enemy. Because you swear an oath to protect and defend the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic.
But you're actually afraid for your life and your family's lives?
Government's killed 200 million people last century alone. We better be. Number one cause of unnatural deaths, government.
Okay, I'm learning. I mean,
have you seen Operation Valkyrie with Tom Cruise? It's very accurate, historical. We have a Hitlerian government forming, but it's not in the personage of one dictator. It's a system. So we're trying in the information war to peacefully counter that. But the system wants to use force. They want to start a war. They stage attacks against themselves. Have you read Operation Northwoods, where U.S. government planned to terrorize its own cities as a pretext to crack down on enemies?
No.
We're fighting to stop that. We are working for peace every day. But we're saying we're not your slaves. We're not going to be taken to your forced labor camp. And they are setting up forced labor camps.
Where?
The Civilian Inmate Labor Camp Program, the FEMA legislation, the Gulag Archipelago that's been set up in this country. Anything else, sir?
Yeah, I think that, the reason that these elite people are very successful is because they simply just have a goal, and they get together, and they talk about their goal, and they talk about how they're going to achieve it, and then they do it. And, I wondered, you're the tip of the spear, Alex. I'm sorry to, you know that, and I know that. Have you ever thought about articulating a goal, and then having a meeting, and then talking about it, and getting it? I guess you do a lot of that right on the radio show, but have you ever considered having a meeting?
Well, look at what we did with the posters. Everything I do has to be asymmetrical, where it's about everybody having power, everybody being a leader, leaderless resistance, a creed, an idea, a constitution, a manifesto. And so from Tokyo, Japan, to London, England, to Austin, Texas, to the Toronto Star reporting every major road has ObamaInfowars.com posters or Obama tyrant posters everywhere. That was an example of just our listeners taking action to see how, even if they shut the web off, we can still go out and effectively counter them. And I'm knocking on heaven's door the more I become a leader and the more I do try to organize people. I do want to stay in the game. And I don't want to be, killed by these people. And there's Civilian Inmate Labor Camp Program, Army Regulation 210-35, operating right now with U.S. citizens in them. So, but it's all done in a legalese. Oh, we take state and federal prisoners and put them on bases that the Army runs. And they took the old military bases, as the old-timers said in the 90s. Now that's in the new congressional bills. They're already built and set up. They go, oh, we're going to be a community center, the camp. You'll need to go there because you're homeless. You're not allowed to be homeless anymore in California. You must go to the camp. We've sent cameras there. And, oh, we frisk you. And, oh, there's a brig. And, oh, you see, oh, you want to be in the camp because the economy's bad. Remember Germany and what the Soviets did? Oh, you need to come here. And you got to work while you're here. We can't just feed you for free. Things are tough in America. We got to pay those tens of trillions back to those private banks. And again, as we're successful stopping all this happening, then the media say, oh, look, it didn't happen because we're there fighting. But these bills are all there. The legislation's all there. It's all real.
So do you think homeless shelters are camps as well?
Well, that's how they're setting them up at old bases. Yes, I've been to military drills where they practice putting up camps in minutes at sports stadiums and Operation Top Off and NLE organized.
Why can't it just be people helping other people to get back on their feet?
No. I'm telling you that they say the FEMA camps are going to have prisoners on them, but then also they when they're psychologically conditioning the troops, they have it where role players scream, I want in the camp. And then they frisk you and take your kids when you're in the camp. So that's how they roll the camps out. Hitler didn't say, I'm going to send you to camps and kill you. This was a community center for you and your family. I mean, they're just trying to help homeless people because they had their economy shut down with a no-work list, which they now have. The no-fly list will be a no-gun-buy list and a no-work list. Those bills have been introduced. Your card no worky, you not have job. No more, they're sending feds out, new federal regulations to try to shut down the eBay accounts that are private. They're trying to shut down the garage sales. They're arresting Amish people selling eggs on the side of the road. They have the animal ID, the premises ID to take over the farms and ranches. It's all happening. He has erected swarms of new agencies and sent forth his agents to eat out our substance. Anything else, caller?
No, thanks, Alex. You're a brilliant investigative journalist.
All right, God bless you, Jason. Robert in Kentucky. Robert, you're on the air.